Pepper jelly belongs on a charcuterie board between the brie and the crackers. Looking pretty and being polite. Not anymore. We're taking it off the board, coating beef bacon with it, and turning it into beef bacon jerky. Sweet heat with a sticky crust and a jerky that just shouldn't be this good. So let's do this. Welcome back to jerky.com. I'm Doug, and today we're going to be making jalapeno pepper jam beef bacon jerky. Now, if you've never worked with or even tried pepper jelly before, you are about to become obsessed. This is one of those condiments that lives in the back of people's fridges, gets pulled out maybe once a year for holiday parties, and then back to the back of the fridge and gets forgotten about. But that ends today. Pepper jelly is a weapon, and you and I are going to use it. But first, let's talk about the other star of the show, beef bacon. Beef bacon is exactly what it sounds like. It's bacon, but it's made from the beef belly instead of pork belly. It's got the same cut, that same fat distribution, it's got that same strip of gorgeous marbling running through it that we all love. But instead of that crispy, salty pork flavor, you get this deep, beefy, almost steak-like richness. It's definitely harder to find than pork bacon, but I'll be honest with you. If you see it at your store or your local meat market, buy all of it, because as soon as you start playing with this stuff, you're not gonna wanna stop. And I'm on that kind of time right now. We are beef baconing everything. Check our last videos. And when you dehydrate beef bacon, you get this concentrated, chewy, beefy jerky base that can handle pretty much any bold flavor you can throw at it. Which brings us back to the jalapeno pepper jelly. This here is Fisher & Weiser, and I got this at Walmart. Now you can get pepper jelly pretty much at any grocery store. It's gonna be in the aisle with the jelly, might be on a different shelf than you're used to looking at, but it's there, it's cheap, and trust me, you are gonna love this on almost everything. Toast, crackers, cream cheese and bagels, burgers, grilled cheese, charcuterie boards. I'm telling you everything. It's sweet, it's spicy, and it's got this like glossy, jammy texture that clings to everything it touches. And today, we're gonna coat beef bacon with it and turn it into beef bacon jerky. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna make this into a smooth marinade. If I wanted it smooth, I'd probably heat this stuff in a saucepan up over the stove, kind of melt it down, turn it into a liquid. But we don't want it smooth, we want it chunky. That way it won't all disappear during the dehydration process. Instead, we're gonna get these little flavor bombs kind of stuck to the surface of the bacon. That way we'll get these little bursts of flavor with every single bite of bacon. That is what we're after. All right, enough talking. Let's get to building this thing. First, add your cold pepper jelly to your little ninja. I'm gonna use a whole jar on this, but I think it needs to be cold. You want it straight from the fridge. Now, here's the key. I'm not gonna go full blend with this. I'm just gonna hit it with a few short bursts. I'm just gonna do 4 or 5 bursts with this. It's gonna be just enough to break it into coarse, sticky chunks. You want it to look a little rough and chunky, not perfectly smooth. This is perfect here. So now let's add the supporting cast. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now this is gonna thin it out just a little bit and add a little bit of brightness to it. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Now this is gonna bring the umami. That's kind of the savory backbone to this flavor profile. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, because garlic makes everything better. And if you want a little extra heat, add about a teaspoon of jalapeno pepper flakes. Now I'm just gonna pulse it 2 or 3 more times just to combine everything. I really wanna try to keep that chunky texture. And then stop when it looks like this. It's rough, it's sticky, it's chunky, and it isn't smooth. That is your coating. Now let's get this on the beef bacon. Your beef bacon should be sliced about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick. Now if you find it in the stores, you're probably gonna find it pre-sliced, but some meat markets and stuff might sell it by the slab. Either way works. So if you're slicing it yourself, go against the grain and keep your cuts consistent. That's key here. Now comes the fun part, coating time. Just place all those beef bacon strips in a large bowl here, then add your chunky pepper jelly mixture right on top. This is the part where you get your hands in there. Don't be afraid now. You're not stirring this stuff, you're not tossing this stuff, you're pressing, you're rotating all of it. Press that chunky mixture firmly onto the surface of each strip. Flip them over, press the other side, make sure every strip is fully coated. You want those jalapeno chunks really sticking to the bacon, really work it in. Now go ahead and cover this bowl up and put it in the fridge for 24 hours. That pepper jelly marinade needs time to soak in. You really want it to incorporate into that beef bacon. All right, this is where the magic happens, is in this stage. This is where the flavors start to meld, that coating starts to set, and then everything is getting better. 24 hours later and we're back. Let's pull that bowl out and look how that coating is settled into the meat. The pepper jelly's had time to really penetrate and the beef bacon has absorbed all of those flavors. So now we're gonna hang dry these. Hang drying jerky is my favorite way to make this stuff lately. Now I know this looks a little extra, but hear me out. Hanging lets air circulate on all sides, which means more even drying and better texture. But here's the other reason I love it. When you hang meat, it can contract and change shape as it dries. It kind of curls and contorts and it takes on its natural shape that you just don't get when you lay it flat. And that makes for a different mouthfeel, a completely different chew, and I love it. Now, some people like it, some people don't, but I think you should try it at least once. I use these stainless steel skewers. I pierce each strip with a skewer, then hang the skewers from these stainless steel S-hooks that hook from the underside of the dehydrator racks. You want a little space between each strip, really maximize the airflow around each piece. So I'm gonna run this jerky making machine at 158 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, in this machine, that's just about perfect. It's hot enough to dehydrate, but not too hot that it cooks everything. Okay, so now we just wait. This is gonna take somewhere between 4 and 8 hours, depending on how thick the bacon is, how chewy you like the jerky. So I'm gonna babysit it about the 4-hour mark and see where it goes. As the pepper jelly dehydrates, it's gonna kind of harden into this sticky, slightly crunchy crust. And then the jalapenos are really gonna kind of concentrate. The sweetness will intensify and we'll get a glossy finish out of this thing. All right, 9 hours later and we are done. All right, so 8 of those hours was actually in the dryer, but then after it was done, I let it set, come to room temperature for about an hour. The cooling part is when the coating fully sets. This is when the texture locks in, the bacon will firm up, the crust will harden, and the chew should be perfect. This is what we're looking for right here. You see that? See how it bends without snapping? It's not wet, a little bit of grease, but it's not sticky. That's the texture right there. And look at that crust. The pepper jelly's kind of hardened into this glossy, slightly tacky coating here. And you kind of see some of the chunks in here. Little islands of concentrated flavor stuck to the surface. This is jalapeno pepper jelly beef bacon jerky. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's beefy and chewy, and it's coated in this sticky, crunchy, flavor bomb crust. We might have taken the charcuterie condiment and turned it into a Hall of Fame flavor. All right, boys, let's see if this actually worked. All right, here we go.
Instant flavor.
I was not expecting that.
All right, texture-wise, what are you guys getting?
It's not as chewy as I thought it would be. Because it looks fatty, it looks like it would be like a lot chewier.
Yep, it's firm in a good way.
Yeah, that glaze on the exterior gives it a little bit of crunch, doesn't it? Flavor hit, what do you guys get?
Jalapeno, some sweetness.
Can't put my finger on it, but it reminds me of some Asian dish I've had. I don't know the common ingredients though.
Definitely sweet, just a little bit of kick. Squarely in the sweet and spicy family. Any surprise factor, anything here you guys are surprised with?
I'm just surprised it's as flavorful as it is.
There's more flavor in this one than I was expecting, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think so much of it would stick around, but I think it has just the right amount of sweet and just enough kick to kind of satisfy that sweet and spicy.
Which is my favorite flavor profile, sweet and spicy.
Same.
I think it's amazing.
I thought I'd be able to pick up on the fattiness a little bit more. You kind of forget about it.
Yeah, some people don't like fat on the jerky at all. If you're those type, you're not gonna like this one. But that glaze definitely changes the texture compared to other bacons that we've had.
Also has a tackiness to it.
What do you guys think of the mouthfeel? So we hung dry these. When you hang dry it, you see it gives a completely different texture. It starts to shrivel up around the edges. So when you chew, it has a completely different chew. You guys down with the hang dried jerky or do you prefer the flat?
I think the hang dried has hit the mark most times we've done it.
Yeah, I like every time we do hang dry. I prefer it at this point.
Some people like this, some people don't. Some people just say, oh, it's a waste of time, but you should try this at least once. Trust me on this. So it's definitely for the sweet and spicy lovers. What do you guys think about snackability? I mean, if you had a bag of this, would you crush it? Or is this too rich, you could only do so much?
I feel like I could crush it. Out of the last 3 beef bacons we've done, I think this is the only one I feel like I could crush.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's borderline for me, but it's a bit rich.
It is a bit rich, on the sweet side for sure.
A couple pieces, but not a whole bag. I'm not Joey.
What do you guys think? Would the taste testers love this flavor or not?
I think they would.
I do too.
The sweet and spicies seem to be a wide appealing thing, so final verdict, keep it or kill it?
Oh, I would keep this one 100%.
Yeah, it's legit.
100%. Honestly, this is probably the best one we've made. This is my favorite one we've made in a while.
I agree.
All right, so that's it for our jalapeno pepper jelly beef bacon jerky. I think you should make this at home, give it a try. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time here in the test kitchen.